When I'm not podcasting, King of Podcasts here. Yes, I have dabbled on sugar daddy websites. I will admit I've done it. I've been on other dating websites, but on all of them. You know, I've done it. I experimented. When they have discounts, I jump on and subscribe, and I check what I can do on with her. So an interesting story right here. Slate.com puts a story up and says, do I get a say in how my sugar baby markets her sex work online? Rich Juzwiak writes this, and this is to their sex advice column, Dear How to Do It. And here is the letter. Dear How to Do It. I'm the ongoing client of a high-end, low-volume professional escort. I first met her when she was an undergraduate at an Ivy League college. She is now in a prestigious graduate school while working at a research firm where she's been quickly promoted. Over the 3 years I've known her, she shared her real name and much of her background. Dude, this guy's got a professional escort, doesn't know anything about her in 3 years? Shit. I've helped her with a LinkedIn profile. She comes from an underprivileged home with an absent convict father and climbed her way up with grit and raw on television. I don't believe this already. Anyways, I respect her more than anyone I've ever met. And if I were 30 years younger, I'd be crazy in love with her. We're now friends with benefits. And one of the benefits is for her is that I give her money. Anyways, that's what you do, stupid. By the time she completes schooling, she'll be $200,000 in debt. Well, if you're the sugar daddy, how come you haven't paid that off for her? Like, what good are you anyway if you can't pay that off for her? Why is she with you if she's still in debt? So doing sex work is a reasonable way to survive and pay down some of that debt. Why is she going to a school? Well, again, Ivy League school, $200,000. What do you expect? You know, if I'm correct, I think he didn't say what she is doing either. So she's working in a research firm. She's making money for that, making money off the sugar daddy. And what is she doing with that money? She's splurging it. It's pretty obvious. So here's the problem, he says. When she left for graduate school, she changed her working name and posted a Twitter and Trist.link profile that clearly show her face, which she previously kept blurred. Because I know her screener. I know she gets very little traffic from either of these sites, gets all her clients from referrals, and in fact is very low volume, which is not surprising considering she works as a full-time regular job, goes to school full-time. Both her screener and I have suggested she remove those accounts, but she won't because she's convinced if she gets outed, nobody would care. I think she's taking a horrible, unnecessary risk that could torpedo a promising career. I try not to give advice when it's not being asked, but knowing that this sort of Damocles is hanging over her head is driving me crazy. She won't listen to me, but she'll listen to you. Scared sugar daddy. No, he's a pussy. Okay, this is a sugar daddy that doesn't understand. You know, if you're gonna do this kind of thing, you're supposed to like make it where you're not getting so attached. Isn't that right? Like, I understand trying to be the daddy part, but I mean, he is being a horrible daddy here. It's like, okay, he's feeding the problem. The young girl's not trying to be the solution here. How does she put herself into something where she's $200,000 in debt? How do you go to Ivy League college and you don't have any kind of leverage or any kind of money to go into it? So she got accepted. What does that matter? Like, if we knew what she was actually doing, what she was doing and why she was in graduate school, maybe that would be a little more understanding of what kind of career she's trying to get into, but we don't know that in the story that's not being offered. So, again, underprivileged home, absent convict father. My thing is, he's worried about that. As a sugar daddy, wouldn't you think like the guy would have other girls to go hook up with? But again, he's not friends with benefits with her. He's in love. That's the biggest problem you're having. If you're going to be pay for play, why are you in love with this woman? You're lusting the woman. Why are you worried about everything else that happens to her in 3 years of knowing her? Let her make her own mistakes, okay? You don't have any, first of all, he should not be feeling guilty at all. And it's driving him crazy. What an idiot. So let's see what the columnist writes back. Dear Scared Sugar Daddy, I appreciate your faith in my power to reach hearts and minds. You're this person's client, not her manager. Think about what would happen if you went into a Louis Vuitton store, or depending on your preferred price point, Zara, and said, I love your stuff, but your most recent ad campaign was terrible. Here's how to fix it. You'd be ignored if not laughed out of the store. Same principle applies. Know your place. You're the consumer. Dude, he's right. How smart is this? Okay. He goes on to say, by being so open about her identity and her escorting, she may be making a decision now that will complicate her life later. It may have zero impact. Both possibilities exist in the realm of hypothesis, so no one can predict the future. A fair directive is impossible. What's real and true at this moment, however, is her agency. People have been able to make their own mistakes. In any event, it seems unlikely that the road she's on, from Ivy League to prestigious graduate school, will lead to destitution. It's safe to assume she'll be fine. Maybe not the fine she wants to be, but fine all the same. It'll be the product of the choices she's made. Don't overstep. Her business is none of yours. And, you know, you can actually apply this to a lot of different things. When guys get too attached and there's no real reciprocation. Listen, you know, he feels like he's being the white knight here in shining armor, being the rescuer. He's being a nice guy. You know why? Because I know what it's like to be a nice guy, because I've been a nice guy. That's the point. So what she is getting here, she's getting all her cake and eating it too, okay? But her thing is, she's going through an Ivy League school that she's not going to be able to pay down. She's going to be in student loans forever, because unless she's getting some $1 million job or she finds something else. Listen, I am not disputing the fact that, you know, even though she might be a professional escort, she might be able to go and make some good money and find her way out of being an escort and be a professional. Listen, a lot of women have done that. We might not know who they might be, but I'm sure there's a lot of success stories. But again, this guy on Slate.com is absolutely right. The point is, it's not your problem. And if she's going to go down the hole and she's going to bury herself, you don't want to be there for it. Or you know what? When she gets to the point, then you just say, listen, you know, I've been doing what I'm doing. I'm not doing more for anything, okay? We're not together. We're fucking around. That's all there is to it. So the thought that you want to go ahead and keep, you know, putting yourself out there and now you want to do sex work, I mean, I'm not worried about, you know, most guys, you just have to realize you can't be so jealous anymore. You're dealing with a professional escort. She lingers around with other men. So if you're going to do this kind of thing, guys, okay, realize she probably pays to play with other people. Just keep that in mind, okay? Don't think she's like sitting there as a Cinderella just waiting for you. If it's not an actual relationship and it's a pay for play, then it's going to be otherwise, all right? So this guy makes it a point right here. Again, Sugar Daddy here is trying to get the best of the best. And the thing is, he feels like he's getting the best he can get. And so he's going out of his way to make her happy so that he'll stay around and she'll stay around and keep having sex with him. Okay. But still, I mean, he's not getting anything extra by helping her out like he does the LinkedIn page or helping her out with like trying to offer advice. Again, you know, it's not his business. He's, again, not the manager. He's the client. And I do appreciate Dear How to Do It for saying it right. So I just want to bring that there, and I'll leave it there. So again, remember, subscribe, share, like if you like the video. And if you're listening to the audio, please make sure to go and subscribe wherever you find this show. Pass it along. Let everybody know about it. I'll talk to you next time.